Hey guys, we're back for day 2 of our reading. This is chapter 42 in The War That Saved My Life. I was going to get them all done last night, but it just didn't happen. So we're starting back today. Back in my dining room. My dog is currently asleep, so we're going to hope there's no barking, but I'm not making any promises. He's barked a lot. Chapter 42. When we got to the end of the drive, Mam stopped. "What are those?" she said, pointing to my crutches. "I walk faster with them," I said. She snorted. "Like you need to walk." I said, "I can walk." "Not for long, missy," Mam said. "Not for long." The train to London was even slower and more crowded than the one we'd been evacuated on. Servicemen sat on kit bags in the aisle. One man offered me a seat because of my crutches, and Mam scowled at him and pushed past me to sit down. The man started to speak. "I'm fine standing," I said quickly, "with my crutches." I should have kept quiet. Mam's eyes narrowed. "I don't know who gave you the idea that it was all right to go out where people could see you," she said in a low, furious voice. "Flaunting your crippled self. You can use them things till we get home, and not a minute longer." "But I can walk," I said. "But I don't want you to, you hear me?" I swallowed. It was worse than a nightmare. "Ada caught a spy," Jamie whispered. Mam snorted. "Pull the other one," she said. "Tell her, Ada," Jamie said. "Tell her your hero story." I kept my mouth shut and shook my head. It was late at night before we got off the train and went stumbling through the inky blacked-out streets of London. I tripped over rough curbstones. The shadows made noises I didn't remember, but the decaying smell rising from the damp streets was the same. Butter, I thought. Think of riding butter. Mam had moved to be closer to the factory where she now worked. Plus it got me away from those titty-tatty neighbours with nothing nice to say. I've got a decent job now, even if it is still nights. You'll like the new place. It won't be posh like that rich old bat you were with, but it's pretty fine." "Susan's not a rich old bat," Jamie said. "Oh, Jamie," I thought, "shut up." "Sure she is now. Bet she pockets what she gets to take you in, except of course for what she spent on those clothes. What's that you're wearing anyhow, Ada? Pants?" "Riding joppers," I said, then immediately wished I hadn't. "Ooh, fancy. What's that called when it's at home?" "They're just pants for riding," I said. "They're not posh. Posh ladies wear riding habits. And they didn't cost anything. Susan made them. She'd had to when I'd worn out the pants Maggie had given me. And I should learn to shut up too. Really I should." "Oh, posh ladies wear riding habits, do they? Surprised you ain't got one of those." Susan had said she would make me one. She thought it would be fun. "You won't be wearing pants in my house," Mam said. "Tomorrow I'll be taking those to the pawn shop and getting you something suitable. The cheek of her, letting you out where people could see you." "There's nothing wrong with me," I said. "My foot's a long way from my brain." Slap! I fell backwards, stumbling, scraping my elbow on something rough. For a moment I lost my crutches in the dark. Jamie helped me. "Shut up," I thought. "Shut up." Mam led us up 3 flights of stairs. Bare, dim light bulbs hung at each landing, throwing the stairwells into shadows. I saw something scutter out of view. A rat, I thought. I'd forgotten rats. I'd forgotten how the hallways always smelled from the common toilets on each floor. Mam swung open a dirty wooden door. "Here we are," she said. The flat was 2 small rooms. We walked into a room with a table, a sink, a gas ring, and some chairs. A thin rug on a linoleum floor. No cabinet under the sink. No cabinet big enough to stuff me into. I looked first thing. Well, Ma'am said. I swallowed. Very nice, I said. Posh brat, Ma'am said. I can see I'm going to have to beat the toff out of you. She picked up one of the chairs near the table. We'll put this right by the window, she said. That way you'll be comfy looking out. What was I supposed to say? I no longer knew the right answers. Thank you. I see we've got Miss Manners living with us now. Think she's too good for the rest of us. Ma'am showed us to the other room, containing our old wardrobe and a new bed. No sheets, just a rough blanket and a pillow and a mattress. Until we'd gone to live with Susan, I was used to beds like this. I would have thought the flat was fine. Fancy even with more than one room. I had to take off work tonight to fetch you, Ma'am said. I'm going down to the pub for a pint. You two better go to sleep. Ada, I'll find you a bucket. It took me a moment to realize why she thought I needed a bucket. I'd rather just use the toilet, I said. I usually do now. Ma'am said, each word heavy and solid. You ain't going out of this room. Got that? She continued. 'Cause I don't need the world shaming me for having a crippled girl. I don't care what you did somewhere else. You're with me again, and you'll do as I say. You disobey me, and I'll make you wish you hadn't. You're a cripple. That's all you are, a cripple, and nothing but a cripple. You've never been anything else. Got that? I said, Susan wasn't ashamed of me. Well, bully for her. She should have been. Ma'am's eyes glittered. Disobey me, she said, pointing at Jamie, and I take it out on him. Got that? Yes, ma'am, I said. She went out. I looked at the door and the bucket. I used the bucket. Jamie lay on the mattress in the hot bedroom. I can't sleep, Jamie whimpered. I need Bovril. Susan'll take good care of him, I whispered. I need him, Jamie said. I can't sleep. I know, I said, I know. Jamie said, what happened? Why is Ma'am so angry? We look different, I said. So? I took a deep breath. Part of me felt like it was all my fault for being too posh, for getting above myself, for not being the sort of daughter Ma'am could love, for being a cripple. And yet, Ma'am could have fixed my foot. She could have fixed it when I was a baby, and she could fix it now. She didn't want to. She wanted me to be a cripple. It didn't make sense. The moon rose. I watched the pattern of its light made on the ceiling. A cripple, and nothing but a cripple. Jamie, I said, poking him, I caught a spy. I know, he said, and I learned to ride butter, and we jumped the stone wall. Fred needs me. Said Jamie, rolling over, and I can read and write and knit and sew. I helped the soldiers during Dunkirk week, and Maggie and Daisy like me, I said. Susan loves you, Jamie said. She loves both of us, I said. I know, said Jamie. He sniffed. I want Bovril. I didn't reply. I drifted off to sleep. Sometime before Ma'am came home, and as I did, I thought one word. War. At last I understood what I was fighting and why, and Ma'am had no idea how strong a fighter I've become. So Ada, the title of this book is The War That Saved My Life, and Ada is starting to realize that she has a war of her own to fight. What is the war that Ada is fighting, and what is she going to do you think? Put a reply down below at the YouTube if you can. If not, I'll put a documents in Google Classroom and you can reply there. Let me know what you think. See you later.